Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Anas bin Abdul Ghani, and I will be presenting about e-commerce, the revolution of buying and selling of items and goods. E-commerce is stand for electronic commerce, which is before the existence of internet. The process of buying and selling is at the shop, where people come to the shop, choose what they want, and pay at the counter. This is the old school of buying and selling. Now, in the industry revolution 4.0, there is electronic commerce, or what we call as e-commerce, or I will be calling e-com after this. It is something where people go to a website, a certain websites, choose what they want, they purchase, and they online, and they just wait for their item to arrive at their home. The difference between the process of the old school and the e-com is that old school, we have to in contact with the people, which means during the process of buying and selling, we have to meet the people face to face to buy and to give the money, and to give and for the seller to give us the item. But in e-commerce, the buyer and seller does not need to meet. It all 100% online, where the buyer just need to pay online. Okay, the e-commerce is form of, number one is of course website. It has to need a website to perform e-commerce or online transaction. And in their website, they have to portray their products or service or whatever they are selling, and they have to have a payment gateway, which is called FPA. For example, Toyib Pay, Bill Please, or yeah, that's to PayPal, or maybe PayPal for international, and Stripe for international payment. When using this payment, there are usually extra fees for processing the payment, which will be paid by the customers. Normally, will be paid by the customers. After the customers already paid the item online, the customers does not need to meet the seller face to face to perform the transaction. So after the customer pay online, they just need to wait at their home. So this is the simple process of e-commerce. And beside the revolution of buying and selling, there is also revolution of promotion in what they are selling. For example, before this, promotion will be done in a way that use person to person contact, or where seller need to meet the person. For example, the seller need to stand at the mall and stop people that come by, and give the flyers that promotes their products or items, or the seller give to go to the restaurant and give away their flyers of promotion of their items. And that's old school how to promote. But in this industry revolution, we also have new revolution of promotion, which is we call as paid advertising. It is not a free cost, but it is paid advertising, where seller need to spend a little bit, or maybe a bunch of money to promote their products. How this happen? For example, paid advertising include Facebook ads, Google ads, TikTok ads, Twitter ads, Bing ads, Yahoo ads, and everything about ads. This advertisements is where seller pay. This is just a simple simulation for us to understand. The process of paid advertising is where seller pay the, for example, Facebook, and we call it Facebook ads. Seller pay Facebook ads, and they just ask Facebook, hey Facebook, promote this product for me, and bring the people who likes the product to my website or my to e-commerce store. So this is what happens. Facebook will show the sellers ads at the newsfeed, at the video. If we notice, when we scroll down the Facebook, there is a sponsored post. That is the Facebook ads. This is where seller pay the Facebook. So the in calculation of the cost, the cost is they are paid by impressions, which means every time people see, the sellers will get charged, even people don't buy it. So that is how it's done. It is not when people buy it, then only by that time Facebook charge. No, when people just see it, it doesn't matter he buy or does not buy it, Facebook will still charge the seller. So in paid advertising, there is advantages and disadvantages. Advantages is that we can scale up and we can spend much and get much more sales. And for the disadvantage is that if we take a wrong step, then we will burn all the money that we spend on the ads. And for the Shariah methods in the e-commerce is what I found is that, number one, in sales page or e-commerce store, there is fake what we call as fake timer of promotion. For example, the promotion, the sentence is the promotion will end in 30 minutes, and the timer starts 30 minutes, then 29, 28, 27. But the problem is that every time you refresh the page, it will also refresh the timer, which means the promotion is not gonna end. It is just a maybe we call a trick or a cheat to trick customer to think that, oh, this is gonna end soon, so I have to buy now. This is what we call as urgency in their terms, but these are used falsely, which means they use the fake timer. The promotion is gonna end, but the problem is it is not gonna end. It refresh whenever you refresh the website. That's number one. And number two is about you receive different themes, different than what you order. For example, you order shoes online, and then when you open the parcel, the item has received, and you open the parcel, you get for example, maybe you get something else. For example, you get stones. That is what scammers do. You get stones or you get rocks, and maybe they didn't even say anything after you pay online, and they just don't do anything. They don't give you tracking number. They don't give you any updates on your orders and anything else. They don't do anything, and they did not send your parcel. And this is where your money burns online. So this is what we call as maybe disadvantages of online transaction. So that is number two of Shariah methods in what I have found. And number three is about paid advertising. Paid advertising, because paid advertising allow us to maybe what we call as to borrow some money because we spend first. We spend for example, we spend 100 ringgit, and then for example at the threshold of 200, then we have to pay. Then, but some people, maybe we call that, but some people, when the threshold reach 200 RM, they did not pay for the money for the advertising. So this is included in Shariah methods, and this is something problematic, and it is Shariah issues because they did not pay for what they get. Because this is online, even Facebook cannot do anything about it. So that's all from me. As to recall, my topic today is about e-commerce, revolution of trading in buying, sales, and goods. And number two is revolution of promoting in selling, which is included paid advertising for like Facebook ads, Google ads, and anything else. And third one is the Shariah methods that I found in e-coms and evolution of selling. So that's all from me. Thank you.